Right, we're away. So today, obviously, we're in December. Christmas is just around the corner. Probably, well, it is the hardest time of the year to stay on plan. A lot of people just say sod it and gain a significant amount of weight. But with a few strategies put in place, you should be able to, at the very least, maintain over that Christmas week. But over December itself, you should still be able to, if you are trying to lose body fat, still lose body fat, providing you kind of embed these strategies that we're going to talk through here. So, usual disclaimer: anything kind of nutrition based in here, anything supplement based in here, I'm not a registered dietitian. If you want any like really detailed advice on that, see your GP or a dietitian. But obviously, any questions, I'll answer them and I'll direct you where possible. But they're your first or main port of call. So today's objectives are essentially just to go through a few tips and tricks that you guys can embed to help you stay on track over this Christmas period. So let's get to work. So what I would say first of all is be realistic with your goals. So for you guys that are on fat loss plans, you're trying to lose a half a centimeter, or half an inch every week. And if you lose that week, you're in a deficit and you see that as a positive week. I think being realistic, and you know the fine margins associated with the calories, it's going to be tough to lose in that Christmas week. So maybe just set the week of whatever it is, 24th, right the way through to 29th. If we can just maintain that week, or even if we gain, it's just a minor amount, but it's nothing crazy. You're not doing the hard work of the last 8-10 weeks. So you're maybe not going to kick yourself or beat yourself up if you've not lost, but we're not going to be too unrealistic with our goals. Okay, so that's point number one. A big one for me is remembering that Christmas is not the whole of December. Christmas is that, well, it's whatever you want it to be. But for me, Christmas is probably around the 23rd, because that's when I'm having Christmas with my partner's family. 24th, I'm having it with my family. 25th is, I think we're back, I don't know, a spread fin. And then 26th is Boxing Day. So they're the major days for me alongside New Year. So that doesn't mean that, although I've got my advent calendar now with their tiny little piddly chocolates, doesn't mean that every day I'm just going, it's Christmas, so I'm going to eat this, this, this. I'm still going to try and stay on top of my training where possible, stay on top of my nutrition right the way up to that week. And even on those days, I'm still going to be exercising, I'm still going to be active, and I'm still going to be relatively mindful of my nutrition. But the main thing is, for those over 26, 27 days, you're sticking to that routine that's working for you, and you're acknowledging that you're not just going to like slacken off a little bit over this entire month. You're just going to allow yourself those days where, rightly so, you can be, be merry and celebrate with family and friends, but it's not the whole month. So try and see Christmas as a select number of days for yourself, and you're going to plan accordingly for that. Another one to focus on is sticking to your routine. So if you're on a plan with myself, obviously you are, and you're on 3 days a week, make sure that you stick to 3 days a week during that training period. That doesn't necessarily have to be 3 weight training sessions, but it can be like at home training sessions. It can be going out for family walks. It can be doing like core sessions with the family. It can be going to the gym if your gym's open that time, whatever it may be. But try and stick to your typical routine. Maybe if you're on a plan that's 6 days a week, maybe you knock it down to 3 or 4. That's fine. Be realistic, because there's lots of days going on there. But just try your best to keeping a good training routine throughout that week, and adapting based off if your gym's closed or not. That's just literally what I touched on before. If you cannot get to the gym, message me and I can add into your plan. Remember, I write your plans weekly. I can add into your plan some home-based training, like loads of exercises you can do: press ups, split squats, core work, bridges that you can do at home just for 30 minutes, burn a few extra calories, keep on top of your strength training, and keep in that routine that's going to set you up for the rest of the day. Now, if you want to have like that complete week off, fine, like genuinely no problem. But I would suggest, if possible, to stick into some kind of normality there, just so you don't let the scales and the measures get away from you. On the flip side of that, I am a big believer of living your life to the full, and I am a big foodie, probably why I've not got abs, but indulge a little. It is Christmas. It is that 1 time, 2 times, 3 days of the year where you've been good for the majority, where you're allowed to indulge. And I'm going to give you some strategies to keep on top of that as well. But if you got Christmas pudding there, have it. Like if you look forward to it and you've been working hard and you've earned it, then have it. Plenty of, it's the best meal, isn't it? Like we have at my house, we have beef brisket, we have a joint of ham, we have goose some years, turkey. We have, it's like my favorite foods, pigs in blankets. I am not going to not have them. So if you want them, have them, but just be mindful it's the usual calories in, calories out. If that ends up taking you into a 5,000 calorie surplus, you're not going to be able to outtrain that, outmove that, and you're going to gain weight. And you've got to be happy with that, or earn it, which we're going to talk through in a second, so you can hit those realistic targets of maybe just maintaining. If you are going to indulge, say on Christmas Day, you have a big Christmas dinner that's 3, 4, 5,000 calories. It will stack up. Make sure you get back on track straight away. The next morning, Boxing Day, is an easier day in the year to just go out for a family walk. Like go and do a 2-3 hour walk together, like in the morning, in the afternoon, whatever you want to do. Try and get out and get back on track. The next day, don't just think, I've eaten loads of food the day before, I've already ruined it for the week, I'll carry on. If you don't need to, try and get back into some kind of good eating routine at the same time. And that might not be Boxing Day, but it might be the 27th. It's really a bit of a nothing day, isn't it? There'll be loads of chocolates around the house, but try and resist those. Try and go for the usual foods that are a bit more nutrient dense. So try and get into those, like the proteins again, the veggies again. And then once you've eaten those, if you therefore are still hungry, have something sweet if you're craving it. But if you go straight for the chocolate straight away, you will have more and you will have more and you'll have more, because they're not very satiating. They're really palatable and you just want more. So if you can kind of fill your diet first with the protein and the veggies, as you would normally, you're less likely to then just be destroying selection box after selection box as you go along. So try and get back into your training, into your steps, into your activity, and as good a nutrition as you can during that period. Oh, I've already actually answered this. So take, for example, Christmas dinner. Like, again, it's Christmas dinner. If you want to have what you want to have, just do it. But if you really, really want to be mindful and still be on it, then it's very, very tempting to just get all the good stuff, all the dirty stuff straight away on your plate. But if you actually pack your plate full of like turkey, like nice lean meat, full of your vegetables, whatever that may be, like that is going to fill you up first, and then have the nice stuff alongside it. You're kind of getting the best of both worlds, of the tasty stuff and then the foods that make you full. But if you go like straight away for 20 pigs in blankets, that is going to, it's so tasty. You just want more and more and more. You just keep on eating it and the calories just come out of nowhere. Okay, so a little strategy would be to load up on the kind of leaner proteins and the vegetables first. Make sure your plate's packed with that, and then have in a smaller amount those mega tasty things that you're looking forward to. And I like this one. I am the worst person ever for just, do you know when you're eating and you keep on eating and you think you're not full and you just keep stuffing and stuffing and then it just catches up for you and you feel like death. I do that all the time. So try, like I sent out before the other day in terms of those snacking habits, try and pause when you're eating and have a think, am I full here? Like make sure you're having a drink whilst you're eating. And then you're not just shoving it in so fast, because we know that the slower you eat your food, the more full you get. So take your time eating it, not just trying to cram it all in. And my family are all big eaters. I will just stuff it in until I feel sick. All the good foods, but just take your time, be mindful, pause whilst you're eating, and then eat till you're full, not till you're stuffed, being a good little strategy there. Going back to your exercise, try and plan your week. So if you know that Christmas Day is a write-off, you can't get exercise in there, then fine. But what about Boxing Day? Maybe just write down like 9 till, it doesn't have to be too stringent, but 9 till 12, walk with family. On the 27th, gym's open 9 till 12. I'm going to go and do the 9 till 10 class, whatever it may be. I'm going to go out for a run on the 28th this time, weather dependent. Pop it in your diary so it's there. My business mentor always tells me to do this with my own business stuff. Put it in your diary, you're more likely to do it. So diarize any exercise, any activity you're going to do, and then try and make it social. Like go to bring, if your cousin's coming up, bring him to the gym with you if they like that. Go out for those walks. I keep going back to walks. It's just an easy thing to do around Christmas because the weather's usually pants, and you can go and do those kind of things rather than trying to get out for a run if it's really slippy and snowy. Do some things as a group with your mates. Do it socially, and it's more easier to it's easier to stick to it, and you don't feel guilty like you're leaving everybody else at home partying and you're out on your plan. Okay. Easy ones. Massively whack your step target out of it. Well, probably most of us are off. Some of us will have to be working, but you're off. You've got more time to go out and get the steps. And if you normally hit 10,000, go and hit 20,000 steps. Get out and about and get those steps ticks off. Again, do it with your family, do it with your friends, so you're more likely to stick to it. As we've said previously in previous lectures, comes down to the weekly average. So you need to be in a deficit on average for that week. If you're really on it, you might predict how many calories are in your Christmas dinner. And if you know that it's 3,000, you're typically in a deficit of 2,000. You need to therefore save 1,000 calories over that week. So you might have 1,800 calories Monday to Friday. And then you've got an extra 1,000 calories at Christmas, knowing that you're going to go crazy. So why don't you try and employ some strategies in the build up and around it where you're going to save up some calories? So that might just be smaller portion sizes. It could be like employing like intermittent fasting style stuff where you're only eating like you could miss breakfast, whatever it may be. Like choose a strategy that works for you that you can save up a few calories. Just make sure in those times that you're getting calories in around training, so you're still feeling energized in the gym. But then you've created that deficit, and then when you eat the extra foods at Christmas, it may still even be a deficit, or it's hitting that realistic target of being in maintenance. So save up some calories during the week. On Christmas morning, maybe just think, if you've got a big Christmas meal later on and you're having breakfast, maybe just have a high protein veggie breakfast, like an omelet or something in that for breakfast. Minimal calories, really filling, and then you've got your dirty carbs coming in later on in the rest of the day in your Christmas dinner. Try and think ahead, try and plan, and you can stay on track definitely and still enjoy yourselves. Hydration, a big one. You guys have all got kind of water targets to try and hit. There's a simple rule of thumb. It's about 20 to 30 mil per kilogram. So if you're a 100 kilo person, you want 2,000 mil or 2 liters to 3,000 mil. So most people are somewhere between 1.5 to 2.5 liters of water per day. If you make sure you're having water during your meal to help keep you full, water throughout the day again to help keep you full and keep you hydrated, which will probably flow on naturally to alcohol later on. But I touched on this one as well, like find a balance between nutrient-dense foods and calorie-dense foods. So a calorie-dense food is a food that is quite small, but rammed with calories, like any kind of sweet, crisp, chocolate, your foods are that high in fat. Whereas a nutrient-dense food, it may be quite big, like a chicken breast, but it's got minimal calories to it. So it obviously, like I'm not saying don't have your selection box and stuff, but make sure that you're also having your usual high protein, low calorie sources, your whole grains and stuff like that, alongside with it, your fruits, your vegetables, your lean protein sources. Keep those in your diet, and then you're less likely to go to town on those calorie dense meals. Alcohol, which is what I touched on a second ago. So be smart with your alcohol choices. Again, it's Christmas. You're going to go out on the bevies. Your mates at home you don't see. Do it. That's what life's all about. But you are on plan. You're trying to keep pushing forwards. You're not trying to set yourself back too much again. We're going for that realistic maintenance. But you could easily go out and just make a little bit better alcohol choices. I'll probably make a little infographic on this to send out to you all. But things like pint of lager might be 300 calories, and a gin and slimline might be 100. If you're having 10 of each, that's a heck of a lot of calories you're saving by going for the gin and slimline. Obviously, other choices are available. It might be that you feel like you don't even need to drink as much. Sometimes it's just like, it's like when you put the football on, don't you? It's like, oh, I may as well get some beers and some food because the football's on. There's that weird social aspect of you just have a drink because you feel it's a social norm. But maybe just stop and think, do I actually need a beer here? And if you do, if everyone else is, great, crack on. I'm not saying that, but it might just be a case where actually I don't need, but I'm going out on the beers tomorrow with everyone. So I'll hang on today and just go for something, like pop, water, something lower calorie. Okay, so just think about your alcohol choices over that year. You might even go for the 0-cal alcohol choice as well if you feel like you want to be included from that perspective, but you're not too fussed about the alcohol and the extra calories, because alcohol has, how it works is fat has 9 calories per gram, alcohol has 7 calories per gram, and then protein and carbs have 4 calories. So protein's down here, alcohol's the next step up in terms of having a lot more calories, and it's only just on the fat. There's a lot of calories per gram of alcohol. Okay, so those are my strategies there. There's about 12 or 13 I've put in place. So I'm just going to stop sharing now. But if you guys have got any questions that those guys who are listening afterwards and want to ask, just pop them when I upload this in the comments section below. Right.